Prompted by a week of protests, Lebanon's President Michel Aoun has called for the formation of a new government. In a televised press conference, Aoun has said that the country's next cabinet will only be picked based on skills and not political affiliation.
يجب أن يتم اختيار الوزراء والوزيرات وفق الكفاءة والخبرة وليس وفق الولاءات السياسية أو استرضاء للزعامات، فلبنان عند مفترق خطير خصوصا من الناحية الاقتصادية، وهو بأمس الحاجة إلى حكومة منسجمة قادرة على الإنتاج لا تعرقلها الصراعات السياسية والمناكفات ومدعومة من شعبها.
The address followed the resignation of the Prime Minister Saad Hariri. Hariri's resignation was propelled by an unprecedented wave of protests lasting 2 weeks, but Aoun has asked him to stay on in a caretaking capacity until a new cabinet is formed. In his speech, Aoun called for an end to the sectarian state and for the establishment of civil governance, a key demand of the protesters. However, the protesters were not impressed by the president's speech. Reacting to the speech, demonstrators chanted the popular refrain of the 2011 Arab uprising: "The people demand the fall of the regime."
لأنه عم نحكي وعود مثل كأنه نحن بأول العهد. نحن اليوم صرنا بنص العهد، كل هيدي الوعود كان فيها تتحقق من أول سنة.
The massive protests in Lebanon began on the 17th of October, following the government's plan to impose new taxes on goods such as tobacco, petrol, and WhatsApp calls. The government was quick enough to reverse its tax proposal, but it was too late to stop public anger. The country is currently battling the worst economic crisis since the 1975 civil war. In the Indonesian province of Aceh, Sharia law rules all. Now, a man behind Indonesia's flogging law was publicly whipped after he was caught having an affair with a married woman. The visuals on your screens show Mukhlis grimacing and flinching during the ordeal. Mukhlis, who is a member of Aceh Ulema Council, had helped draft the strict religious laws ordering adulterers to be flogged. Talking to reporters, a member of the council said that flogging a council member underlined the government to enforcing the Islamic law. He also stressed that no one is above the law, and if you violate the law, you will get whipped. The married woman who Mukhlis had an affair with was also flogged about 23 times. Aceh is the only province in the world's biggest Muslim-majority country that imposes Islamic law. Flogging is used as a punishment for a range of offences in the region located at the tip of Sumatra Island. It includes gambling, drinking alcohol, and having relations outside of marriage. The law was adopted in 2001 as part of a deal with the central government. On to other news now. In the Somali capital of Mogadishu, despite regular terror attacks and conflict, people are trying to rebuild their prospects. Despite the everyday terror, new businesses, including a floating bar and restaurant, are attempting to breathe life into the war-torn country and bolster a small but growing tourism sector. Our next report gets you more on this.
Young people play football on the beach in Mogadishu. Others meet with friends to sing and eat together in a park. Despite the ongoing conflict in the capital, Somalis are looking for quiet places to relax. Abdul Qadir Ibrahim fled the conflict to Italy in the 70s, but after 10 years abroad, he decided to return to the country to create his own business, a floating bar and restaurant.
When I saw in developed countries that there were boats with bars on tourist beaches, I thought it would be a great idea to create a floating restaurant here too.
One of the boat's quirks is that due to a lack of kitchen space, customers need to order their meals 2 days in advance so the chef has enough time to prepare the food. Several restaurants have sprung up on Lido Beach since the al-Shabaab terrorist group was driven out of the city by African Union soldiers in 2011, bringing many Somalis back to their country. Fadumo lives in England but comes home for the holidays, visiting her family and discovering the country's new attractions.
It's a great place. And we see the country is growing. And as you can see, we're having a good time on the boat and on our beautiful beaches.
The beach, just one of the few public spaces in the city, has risen in popularity. But this has also made it a target for the al-Shabaab militants who continue to hit the capital regularly. In 2016, an attack on a waterfront restaurant left 19 dead.
Mogadishu is a resilient city where buildings destroyed by suicide cars are quickly rebuilt, and the youth is afraid of nothing and lives in peace.
Despite tensions, many businesses are emerging in the Somali capital, created by local traders or members of the diaspora. The country is slowly trying to change its image, and it is making inroads. In recent years, many foreign airlines have started to offer flights to Somalia.